Hello, this is Amir. Today I want to speak about the project that I did on ModSecurity. ModSecurity is now a module that is developed for Apache. This module is developed by OWASP. Um, this module is kind of IDS, intrusion detection system. This IDS will help to detect web vulnerabilities like SQL injection or cross-site scripting or those known vulnerabilities by OWASP. So you can install rules on this IDS system. Those rules will help the IDS to detect the vulnerability, the attack, and avoid the attack and show the attacker an error page and log the details of that attack and the attacker inside the IDS system. Okay, basically for this project we had three computers or three machines that we already uh, installed them here, prepared them. One of them is our server that we use Ubuntu for our operating system of our server, Ubuntu desktop, and we enable our website. Basically, we install the Apache and MySQL, so we install our website on the server, and we have. I want to access my website. I enter localhost. So basically, this is our website that we make by Joomla. So this is accessible on the server system, on the server machine. I want to show you the other machine. Our other machine name is Firewall. Firewall is also another Ubuntu. Firewall, basically I name it Firewall because our ModSecurity is installed on this machine. This machine is also Ubuntu desktop version 12, and we enabled Apache on it and installed ModSecurity and reverse proxy, and we name it Firewall. Why? Because the user or the attacker, if they want to access to the website, they cannot have direct access. They will have access to this computer, the firewall, and through reverse proxy, we forward the traffic to the web server. Or ModSecurity will detect the attack and drop the attack on the firewall. So our third computer will be the attacker or the user that want to see the the website. So basically I want to try to see if the user have direct access to the server or not. I will check for the IP address of my server. As you can see, the IP address for the server is 10.10.150.4. I will come back to the attacker system. Okay, I try to ping directly the IP address for the server. We can see that we got destination unreachable because we designed the network for these three computers in this way that we got two segments. One segment is on the server side, one segment is for the user side. But Firewall have access to both segments, but we designed it in this way that the attacker cannot have direct access to the server. So if he want to access to the server, the traffic will pass through Firewall computer. And I will show you the IP address for the firewall. We have three network interfaces. One is for accessing to internet. One is the range for server side. The other one, I name it outside interface, is the side is related to the users and attacker. So the IP address for this site is 192.168.2.131. So this is the IP I should try to ping from here. 192.168.2.131. As we can see, we get reply here, and basically we already installed the ModSecurity and reverse proxy successfully on this firewall machine. So if we try to access to the website through here, we have to enter the IP address for the firewall, and as you can see, we can open the website. Basically what is happening here is that when we enter the IP address for the firewall, firewall first get this traffic and check it with the ModSecurity if this is an attack or not. If it's an attack, it will drop the traffic and show an error page to us. If it's not an attack, it will forward the traffic, use reverse proxy to our web server computer, and we can see the website as now we can see here. And if we want to try to see what will happen in case of attack, I do a basic SQL injection, and I press enter. As you can see, it will show an error forbidden. This is the error that generated by our reverse proxy, and on the other side, on the firewall, it will generate an log for us related to this attack that we had. So I'm going to show you the log file. The log file will the place that log will generate it will be here. I'm going to file system, var. In var directory, I'm going to open log directory, Apache 2, and ModSec audit is our log file for ModSecurity. Basically, I already got another log here. It's an old log for 7 days, and I need it, so I just put another a dash before the name. And I want to generate a new log, so I delete this log, and I come here to the open. I will open the terminal window and restart the Apache machine to generate a new log to ModSecurity understand that we already delete the log, and it will generate a new log. So for restarting the Apache, I will write service Apache 2 restart start. Okay, as we can see, now we have a new file, new log file. I'm going to properties, and the size is 0. So I try to attack again from this side. Index.php. Okay, we got 403 forbidden, and I will come back to the firewall and open the log file. As you can see, ModSecurity detect our attack and make a log. Later I will describe the details about the log. This is the structure of log. It made from many parts, and these are the details of that attack that we made. So I'm not going to describe the details in this video about the log, but I already will upload an document related to the details of all part of this log. And this is the configuration that we did for forwarding the traffic to our server. This configuration is located in this address for reverse proxy. I'm going to etc Apache and site available, the file name default. If you open the default, it has a configuration. We change the configuration to forward any traffic on port 80 to this IP address. This IP address is our web server IP address. Basically, we need to install a script, the script that we write to show the graph for the log file. We want to visualize the log in form of a graph. So we copy our script that we wrote it in PHP in this folder, audit. So we don't want to, when we enter audit in the browser of Firewall, we don't want the reverse proxy forward our traffic to the web server. So we use this rule. This rule will avoid reverse proxy to forward this address to the web server. I'm going to show you a graph related to our old data collection. So basically this graph is showing this graph generated from 7 days of our attack. As you can see here, basically this is the memory usage of a server, CPU usage, and these are the name of attacks. We can go to the details, but some attacks had huge impact, as you can see. So when the amount of them become a lot, other attack will show here in small amounts. As you can see here, we have the title of all attacks, but as we cannot list all here, we have all of them here in details. You can see here, and I will sort them based on amount. You can see we got CSRF and invalid HTTP request line, SQL injection, SQL hex encoding ID identified, and other kind of attack that we already did with attack tools. Then later I will show you in this video. And this is our log for like a calendar. It will show how many attacks that we had in any days. I mean each days how many attacks that we had. So as you can see, we had 27,631 attack in this day. And for example, if we want to say on 27th of November we had 266 attacks, but as the amount here is high, you cannot see the peak here. And later I will show you how we did these attacks. This part is related to our operating system. We visualize it. Unknown will be the robots or the software that they don't have any headers for their attack, or the headers is not known for our script. This PHP script that we wrote already can recognize operating system like Macintosh, Windows, and Linux. But softwares that are routed for attacking. They cannot they don't have headers, or some of them has their own headers, so our application name them as unknown. And for browser, the same. We have Firefox, Internet Explorer, Apple Safari, and Opera. But as you can see, the amount is very low in compared to the automated software that we use for attack. So our script known them as unknown. For doing these attacks, I will show you what kind of software we use. Actually, we use Aconetics Web Vulnerability Scanner, and other software that I will describe for you. The other software is OWASP Zap, and we have another software I will show you in Backtrack. It's a tool that will help us to try all top 10 vulnerability known by OWASP. So the Aconetics load, I try to define a new attack on this IP address. This is my firewall IP address. Here in Aconetics, I can decide that before you design the attack, you can, here in this page, you can go to the custom, and on HTTP option you can choose this application Aconetics use what kind of header for attacking the victim. So here I use, for example, Opera. Later, if we choose this one and do our attacks with this one, later the peak in the browser log of our visualization, it will be with Opera name. So I choose this one, I click on finish, and the scanner starts scanning for all kind of vulnerabilities. As you can see here, it will face with forbidden error. This forbidden error will be generated by ModSecurity. You can see here as well. Okay, I will stop it. Yes. I will go back to the firewall. I will check the log size. No, this is not the. As you can see, the log become a little bit, the size increased to 2 megabyte. Another software that we use here is, I close the Aconetics, is OWASP Zap or Zero Attack Proxy. This software is also developed by OWASP. For using this software, you need to configure the proxy server of your browser to localhost and the port 8080. So I will come to the proxy setting of Firefox and set the HTTP proxy to localhost and the port 8080. Okay, and from here, as you can see, there is nothing here. I will come back here, and from here I will browse to the firewall IP address. Okay, now I come back here. As you can see, it read already my firewall IP address, and we can start the attacks. So here you have some type of attacks like brute force, port scanning. I do the port scanning. Meanwhile, here this software doing the attack. I will go back to the VMware computer. I want to turn on another software. This software is available both in Windows and on Linux. I want to use the Linux, so it's installed on Backtrack. I turn on my Backtrack machine as well. We come back to attacker, stop the port scanning, and I go for brute force. The dictionary is this one. I click on play, so it starts brute forcing my website. The Backtrack is going to load. I enter the username and password, and start X. Okay, let's go back to the attacker until it will load. I will come back to the firewall to see how much our log increased. Not yet, no different. Come back to attacker to see what was the progress. 7%. Okay, the Backtrack is also low. In Backtrack, I have to go to Backtrack menu, Vulnerability Assessment, Web Application Assessment, Web Vulnerability Scanner, and choose W3AF GUI. Until this one will load, I will come back to the attacker, Windows attacker, stop this one, and go for another attack. I go for active scan site. And active scan not. Spider site. Okay. I will come back to the firewall to check the log size, if we have any increasement in the size. Yes, as you can see, the size increased from 2.9 megabyte to 32.7 megabyte. Okay. Oh, I click the update, so it will take a time to update the W3AF GUI, or I can close and open it again. Force quit. Okay. Again, I will come here. Web. if we do the attack again, few of these attacks, the log size will increase dramatically, because for each of these attack, the mod security will store amount of logs, so it will become huge file after a while if we have a lot of attack on our server. I close this application, and I will go back to backtrack. The W3AF is looking for updates. So basically, if I want to show you the top 10 attacks that is happening by W3AF later, I will delete the mod security log again, and gonna restart the Apache to make the new log file for me. I need a clean log. No. I'm trying to open the website from here to check if backtrack have access to that computer or not. So I will enter 192.168.2.131. Okay, the W3AF loaded. Actually last time I enabled the proxy, because W3AF need to use the proxy the same way that we use for the other software on the Windows. So I already enabled the proxy, so it cannot have access. I will check for the network first. No, our network is already connected. Okay. So I try to open the website from here. I enter the IP address here, 131. As you can see, backtrack also is able to open the website. I copy the address. So this is the W3AF web application attack and audit framework. So we want to try to attack by using the OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. So I press start, and I will wait until this one finish. Okay, it's finished. I will go back to firewall. As you can see, our log become 26 kilobyte. I want to show you how our script work. I will come back to the Windows. Basically, the script that we write is using PHP as a scripting language. Okay. I'll copy again, paste here. Okay, the file come here. If I want to try our software, before this I already insert another log file here, a huge one. The other one that we already saw on Linux, we have the same one here. If I go to the log table, you can see we have around 57,000 rows. So I will delete them. Delete from log. This command in SQL will delete everything. Okay. So it took long because we got a lot of rows. It should delete all of them. And basically our software here is I name it as ModSecurity Audit Log Visualization software. It contains 4 parts. One is index that is used for logging and showing the statistic in form of chart. The other part is parser. The parser open the log file and convert the logs, read the logs, and use the regular expression to find the special field of inside the log and insert them into our MySQL database. Actually, as you can see, all the rows deleted, and when I run the parser, it will insert the log into the database. So I will come back to the localhost. I browse the log, and as you can see, the new log inserted to the database. So basically, if I come to the index page and enter the username and password, it took a little bit and it will generate the error. So we got 28 attacks. Request indicate a security scanner scanned the site, and one missing HTTP only cookie flag for this address. So basically this is it. How it works is like this.